Hello and welcome everyone. It's Tuesday night here in the UK and our local time is 8:58 p.m. So I'm with another subscribers lesson. So dear viewers, welcome to my live stream. I'll be back in one moment because I have to charge my laptop. It looks like it is going to die in any moment. I'm back, guys. Thanks for joining. As you might, excuse me, as you might be aware, this is a subscriber lesson. What it means? It means only my subscribers of this lesson can come here, make a comment, and join, hop on, talk to me, practice English grammar, practice phonetics, practice speaking, practice reading, and obviously indirectly writing. So, dear viewers, thanks for joining. Once again, the topic is grammar and phonetics practice. We're going to learn today and practice be verb in present and past tense. Actually, it's past tense, not present. You can see that, yeah. And also, it is really a vital point for all of us, people who are learning English as a second language or third or fourth, maybe in some cases. We need to understand that grammar is really a backbone of the English. Always compare grammar is like if you think that English language is a whole city and grammar is all the traffic lights, all the traffic signals, all the traffic regulations like left, right, stop, zebra crossing, U-turn, etc. And also we learn grammar, we practice grammar from the conversational English, which is really very explicit idea how anyone can develop their understanding. Okay, guys. So I'm sure that there are many people who are watching who like to make comment, who are interested to make comment, but they can't make comments because of the Hallo policy and regulations. But you are more than welcome to join my lesson. You have to subscribe. If you send me a $2 hop-on request, I'll not be able to accept it. That will really interfere my class. Sometimes I get this type of requests from many students. I have to say sorry to those people. Please, if you want to hop on to my specific class or lesson, you need to subscribe. This is how it works here. And also, if you like to join with $2, join me when I'm on my public live stream, which is open for each and every person. You can only join there. You can talk to me. You can ask me as many questions as you like about the grammar, IELTS exam, basic British IPA, basic, knowledge of speaking strategies, and also advanced as well, So basic, intermediate, and advanced levels. All right, guys. So let's move on. Looks like my subscribers are not here today. However, I have to continue. So if you remember, be verb in past tense as be verb in past tense was, were. Okay, and it is also understandable that when we use was and when we use were, we need to know the subject, and subject is, as you might be aware of, that subject is always related to the person. So in English grammar we learn person, first person, second person, and third person. So the first person I, we, and the second person always you. Remember, in English grammar we always identify you as a second person, but always in plural form. Remember that whether you could be one person and more than one, still we have to assume that it is a plural number. Okay, and third person is, except first person and second person, anything and everything in this world is third person. Okay, so every subject except first and second person. So like you can say he, she, it, they, those, teacher, student, baby, child, organizer, administrator. So in short form, admin, coordinator, etc. So as you can see, third person would be every subject except first and second person, like he, she, it, they, those, teacher, student, baby, child, organizer, admin, coordinator, etc. Okay. So sorry guys, I've got a little bit dry cough. I'm taking medication though. So the question always depends on the whether a first person singular number or second person singular. Honestly, second person is never singular, it is always plural. Remember that. That is a unique rule. First person singular or plural, or third person singular or plural, we always clarify like this. And honestly guys, second person singular plural always you, and after you we must use the plural verb. It is called subject verb agreement. Okay, so I'm just writing it guys. Subject verb agreement. And the subject verb agreement always is related to the what kind of subject it is, which means what kind of person it is, first person, second person, or third person, whether it's singular or plural. So as you can see, when you study tense, we need to know whether it's what kind of person it is, okay? And also we need to understand the different forms of verbs as well. So first person singular number is, hi Waterman, I'm doing great, thanks for the comment. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for your support. That's really cool. So, first person singular number is always I. No problem. And first person plural number always we. Remember that these are the unique subjects or person we can say. So first person singular number always I. First person plural number always we. And second person both singular and plural numbers are always you. Please remember that these three subjects are unique. I, you, and we. Because other subjects are related to these two subjects. How? Let me show you guys. So if you just remove these three persons, like I, we, and you'll find millions of subjects in the world. So third person, and they are called third person. So third person singular number, as you know, single number means single, which will always identify one subject. Okay, remember that it must denote one subject. So that is the reason why we called a singular number. Say he, for example, she, all the names of the people of this, planet Earth, all the name of the cities, books, papers, rivers. Okay, all the proper names are most of the times singular number, except there are some cases, guys, all the proper names, like when a country is a combination of states, like the USA, it is always plural, remember. And also the UK, the Philippines, and we always use I'm sorry, we always use the before the some countries. So all the proper names you can say. So paper, rivers, once again, human names, paper names, journals, TV channels, countries names, capital cities names. These are all third person. And also eat, baby, child, master, teacher, student, etc. Honestly, guys, I can't explain all of them. There are thousands, hundreds of third person singular number. So the plural number, as you might be aware, plural means more than one. Which are the third person plural number? So we have to know sometimes how we can make plural from singular. In many cases, we use s, like for example, teacher, teachers, master, masters, student, students. So third person plural number would be teachers now, students, then masters. Mm, let's see if you can make any more plural number from those examples. Children, yes. Children is plural. And also sometimes we change y into ies to make it plural, like baby, babies, cities, cities. Okay. And what else? I'm trying to figure out, guys. Sometimes I can't remember it straight away. And sometimes I'm Latin words which we can express in plural number, like criteria. Criteria. Okay. And you might ask me, what is the singular then? Criterion with the singular. Then bacteria. Do you know whether it's singular or plural, guys? Bacteria is a plural number. Bacteria. And data. It depends. This word data, it could be singular, it could be plural, depending on the context. So context is very important, guys. Okay. And depending on context, one word may have different meaning. So that is really an amazing part of our English learning, that sometimes if you're not sure about the content, if you know the word, if you know the vocabs, but you don't know how to use it, you don't know how to use it in contextually, so it will be difficult for you. Okay. So in English learning, we always learn contents and also collocation. Sometimes we need to learn. So collocation is the concept when one specific word must take another word as a part of the complete sense. For examples, we don't use listen, we have listen to, one example of collocations. Similarly, instead of. Okay, so here of is the collocation with the word instead. Okay, let's move on. So we use was in past tense as a be verb after I, after third person singular number. We must always use was. Okay. So other cases when it is where, we have to use in past tense after we, you, and all the plurals, whatever plurals are there. It could be 100,000, 200,000. It doesn't matter, guys. Remember that we need to understand whether it is plural or not. That is the main impact of learning Remember that, guys, we are here to learn and develop our English language to this level, to upper level. So we have to focus on our learning. We have to make a plan. We have to go through certain, consistent lessons of learning. It could be a listening, it could be a reading, it could be a writing, or it could be speaking. And many a times, many students come to my life and ask me, teacher, I don't know how to find out my own mistakes. Is there any way? I say to them, most of the cases, if you are not able to find your own mistakes, it's better for you to subscribe to a teacher who can help you identifying. But remember that as long as you are still a learner, but you don't know how to identify, which means then you need to be expert in grammar. If you're not expert in grammar, there is no way you'll be able to find out your own mistakes or somebody else's mistakes. Okay. So let's move on to our today's lesson. So I have explained all of them, first person, second person, third person, singular and plural, when we have to use was and when we must use were. Okay. So I forgot to send message to my subscribers. Hang on a moment, guys. Okay, so sentence number one. Teddy Beaver driving home when I saw him. So Teddy, so if you remember, Teddy is a name, and all the names of this planet Earth is third person singular number. By the way, there is an exam. There are two examples at the front. My dog be sick last night. Make it a positive. Okay. So it dog is a third person singular number. So it is was. My dog was sick last night. Okay. And the next question: Carlos be not at work yesterday. So it means that Carlos is another third person singular number because all the proper names, human names, are third person singular number. So it should be Carlos was not at work yesterday. I need to find out this sound. Is it work or walk in English, like in British IPA? So it is work.
Work.
You see? So that is an amazing part of of English language, W sounds are most of the cases wa sound in British IPA, and R is silent, so it's work. But Americans will not say work, they will say work.
Work.
You see, this is American IPA. Let me show you guys. Yeah. So the first one is the British IPA, work.
Work.
Second one is the American IPA,
Work.
work, walk. Now, how do you pronounce walk? Yeah, this is confusing. Remember, this is walk, but we say it walk. That's not true, guys. That's not the correct sound. Okay, this is walk
Walk.
in British IPA, and American IPA,
Walk.
walk. Look at the difference between the two sounds of British IPA and American IPA. Americans has made the sound easier for them. We said walk, they said walk. We said walk, they said work. So you got to be careful whatever and whenever you use. If you ever visit American, if you say work, and this will not understand it is work, they will understand this one work. Okay, so you got to be very, very careful about the sounds. All right, so was not at work yesterday. It's a negative sentence. Now Teddy, be verb, driving home when I saw him. So which one we should choose? As you can see, Teddy is once again third person singular number. We have to choose was. So Teddy was driving home when I saw him. And sentence number 2, Mac, Janie, Javier, B, walking. Look, this is now walk, and Americans will say walk, walking their dog when I talked to them last Saturday. So if you remember, Mac is a third person singular number, Jane is another third person singular number, and Javier is another third person singular number. Because they have been connected with the conjunction and, so it has become plural number. You can see Mac, Janie, and remember that the and sound is always an sound when it is in between two words. So Mac, Jenny, and Javier were walking their dog when I talked to them last Saturday. So it should be where in this case. Sentence number 3. It's like a dialogue, guys, okay? Who be sleeping in my bed? Now, this is an amazing part, bed. We got confused very often with this word bed and bad. So today we are going to learn the difference between two words. I'm sure many of learners, especially non-natives, are confused about pronouncing these two words. Remember, BD is bad, but when it is B, it is bad, diphthong, and it is a sound in BD. E sounds like a in English language, and I sounds like eh. Remember, eh, and ah, bad, because it's a diphthong. And you know the meaning of diphthong, guys. Diphthongs are those sounds which is the combination of two vowel sounds together. So in bad, there is B, A, E, and D together. So it is written like this, yeah? Bad. Let me copy and paste from the Cambridge Dictionary, which I follow most of the cases. Bad. And listen to the sound here. B-A-D.
Bad.
Bad. Oh, automatically it has been blocked. They think that it's not English language. Okay, how about, as you can see, B-A-E-D, bad. Okay, let us show you one more time from the Cambridge. Let us finish this first part. So, who was sleeping? Okay, who is generally third person singular number? And it's a relative pronoun. If you know, guys, what is relative pronoun? Relative pronouns are those which are used in place of another pronoun or another noun. As you can see, pronoun is the itself is self-explanatory, which means in place of noun we use these words, we call them pronoun. And in medical science there is a term, we call it prodrug. What does it mean? It is like the previous forms of the same drug. So that's why there is probiotic, probiotic yogurt. I'm always confused about the spelling of yogurt. I have to find out the spelling yogurt. Okay, but that is the amazing part. In the UK, we spell yogurt with H, but in the USA, they spell without H. So U, is it YO? I'm sorry, it's YO, GHURT, UK. YOGURT, US. Yogurt. So who was sleeping in my bed? 8B not James. 8B not Julia. Oh, I know it. 8B Roger. Okay. Now the sound bed and bed we explained earlier, bed, but when it's BAD, bad. Always, be careful about using these two words, because most of the times you pronounce the both of the sounds similarly, and your listeners might get confused of what this person is talking about, bad or bad. Remember, BAD is bad. And the famous pop singer Michael Jackson had a famous album called Bad. It's bad. It's bad. Who is bad? Anyway, that's his music. He listened. He passed away, but listen never dies. They are in people's heart. His music will be forever in this world. Okay, so bad. Now, one amazing, similarity with these words are bad, sad, mad, lad, cat, tad, etc. These all of these sounds have similarity, and there is diphthong in every word, like bad, sad, mad, lad, cad, tad, etc. Please bear in mind, dear viewers, that English language has really different kinds of phonetics rules, and sometimes they follow it and sometimes they don't. So in that case, the best option would be to practice and learn from an authentic source like Oxford Dictionary or Cambridge Dictionary or Collins, or there are many other dictionaries in the world. If you're after American, you can search from Merriam-Webster. Even in Oxford and Cambridge, they've got American version as well as the UK versions of the spelling and the phonetics. So it's better to follow both of them if you like to know more. But uh, as a matter of fact, most of our learners sometimes mix it up. So you got to be careful when you mix it up to two different sounds together. Then your sound may not be correct as well. We call it blended sounds or amalgamated sounds. And this type of sounds, I mean to say, pronunciations are not, you know, are not accepted in IELTS exams. Even though the examiner wouldn't say anything, you are not going to get good marks at all. So it is a really vital information for you if you are considering to sit for the IELTS exam. To develop your pronunciation, you have to follow just only one of them, British IPA or the American IPA. Remember that British IPA is a bit difficult, whereas American IPA is easier than the British IPA. Okay, so sentence number 3. So it should be, it is, if you remember, who is a third person singular number? It is a third person singular number too, so it was not in that case. So it was not James. It was not Julio. Again, was not. Oh, I know. Now the person becomes surprised because the person knows who was the person. Oh, I know. It was Roger. So it simply was. Okay, number 3 is done. Sorry guys, I've got a little bit cough. Number 4, IB dash going to the grocery store when you called. Look at this. These are amazing sentence patterns, guys. All of them. It represents, the accuracy of grammar when you learn. Okay. Sorry, guys. I need to check something urgently. Okay, so number 4, I be dash going to the grocery store when you call. So I is the first person, if you remember. So after I, we use always was in past tense. So I was going to the grocery store when you called. So let us listen to the sound of grocery, because some people say grocery, some people say grocery. Let's find out which one is correct.
Grocery.
Grocery, you see,
Grocery.
that is British IPA. Now in American IPA,
Grocery.
grocery. Oh, the amazing part is in grocery in British IPA there is a schwa sound after C, so it's grocery rather than grocery.
Grocery.
So it's grocery, yeah. If you remember, schwa sounds are those sounds which we don't have to pronounce at all, which is also called lazy sounds. So it's grocery, not grocery. Number 5, at 7, we be dash eating dinner and watching TV. So if you remember, we is a past person plural, and past form we must use were. We were eating dinner and watching TV. So watch. Is it watch or watch?
Watch.
Watch. Okay. If it's a verb, but it needs to be noun. Like watch it, mate. Watch your lingus. If it is a noun,
Watch.
similar sound. Remember that there are thousands of words which can be used as noun and adjective, or noun as a verb. So in that case, the intonation is different if the syllables is more than one syllable. I gave examples earlier, in my other lessons. So if the syllable is more than one syllable, like 2 or 3, especially, then most of the cases, if it is noun, our intonation is from upper to down or rising to falling. Like one example is contract. Okay, but if you want to use it as a verb, it should be the other way around. So it is falling to rising or down intonation to up, and so it contract. So it is verb now. So dear viewers, as you can see, phonetics, pronunciations are very important to explain the meaning of your sentences. Okay, so question sentence number 6. When he was a kid, Ivan, a name of person, be not, so be in this case was, and not is not. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Very social. He didn't spend time with his friends. He spent a lot of time alone. So he was always reading a book or listening to music in his room. As you can see, it's a very amazing example. When he was a kid, Ivan was very social. He didn't spend time with his friends. He spent a lot of time alone. He was always reading a book or listening to music in his room. That is the correct answer. Then 7. Look, I. So when I was in the ninth, as you can see, after I we always use was. I was in the ninth grade. I was 5 feet tall. It's very easy peasy. So when I was in the ninth grade, I was 5 feet tall. Okay. Number 8. Lola, a name of a girl, possibly African name. B dash very nice girl. You can see girl. She helped her parents, did her homework, and even took care of her little brother. It's a shame she had to move away. Well, this is just like a part of a story, possibly part of a story. Okay, so Lola B, third person singular number, we can use blindly was in past tense. Lola was a very nice girl. She helped her parents, did her homework, and even took care of her little brother. It is shame she had to move away. Okay, so that's the answer. Was number 9. You can see the cat be faster than the mouse. So the cat caught the mouse, unlucky mouse. I'm sure it reminds me of the story that Tom and Jerry. I'm sure, guys, you like Tom and Jerry movies, don't you? So look at this word, mouse. How do you pronounce it? Mouse.
Mouse.
Mouse. So it's a singular mouse, yeah? Like tomcat, Jerry rat, or a mouse. It's a noun, okay? And also use in computer, I can see that, yeah? This is also mouse. We call it mouse as well. Look at the amazing part of English language. It has got different meanings in. Okay. All right. There is a now an amazing part to the mouse is singular. Mouse. And the plural is mice. If it is rat, yeah. But if it is the computer mouse, we can't use mice, guys. Remember that, yeah? Because it's not the real rat or mouse. In that case, it should be mouses. When is the part of computer accessory, we call them? Okay. So, sentence number 9. The cat was faster than the mouse. So the cat caught the mouse, unlucky mouse. You see, as I said earlier, I like watching cartoon film Tom and Jerry, and this line reminds me of film, the cartoon film. Number 10, the weather be hot. We be sweating. I asked my mom to roll the window down. Okay, so weather is third person singular number again. So the weather was, oops, the weather was hot. And we is a plural number, as you can see. So we were sweating. I asked my mom. I asked my mom. Remember that very often many of our learners are confused pronouncing this word. I'm going to help you pronouncing this today. I asked my mom to roll the window down. Okay. Ask And ox. Do you know that ox has also got a meaning? So don't be confused, dear viewers and learners. Ask, ask, ah. When you go to the dentist and the dentist always tells you to open your mouth, and what you do is ah. This is the ah sound there. Ask. Pronounce and practice it. Ask. What did you ask? Don't ask me. I'm going to ask you. I'm sure that Jane is going to ask you a very challenging question. So remember, ask, but not ask. Yeah. So what does ask mean, guys? Let me try to find out. I know that ask has got a meaning as well. Okay. In the Urban Dictionary it says ask means it's a dialect of West Indian standard form of ask. But ask has got also meaning. Oh, AKS, aluminum, potassium, and silicon. They brought chemistry here. So sometimes some people use this as it's like a slang term. Okay, so remember once again, ask and practice it at home. I'm sure you can develop it. Like, I'm going to ask you a question. May I ask you something? Or could you ask him why he was late? No, I can't ask him. I dare not to ask him. Who is going to ask this question to the teacher? So make sentences, guys. Remember that when you learn a proper pronunciation and the sound, is better for you to develop the sound by practicing a lot. Remember that the best teachers, American teachers or British teachers, can give you lessons, but at the end of the day, it's you who have to practice a lot. Okay, at the end of the day, it's your life. If you can't practice, if you don't practice, you don't expect to develop your English language or your quality of speaking and writing, because whatever you write is the same way you try to pronounce the word. Okay, so that is the end of explanation of all the exercise 9, which is the using the verb to be in past tense. We've got still a few more minutes. Okay, I'm going to show you some more sounds that we have found today from this lesson. Number 1, the confusing sound was bad and bad. Okay. Second confusing sound was grocery. Okay, not grocery, grocery. And there is schwa sound. And also Saturday. In Saturday, the R is silent in British IPA. Okay,
Saturday.
Saturday. That's the British IPA. And the American IPA?
Saturday.
Saturday. The T sounds like flat T because the T is in between two vowel sound. If you remember, the rule is that British English is called rhotic English. I'm sorry, non-rhotic English. British English is called. It means we don't have to pronounce the R sound in most of the cases. Whereas American English is called rhotic English. They have to pronounce the R. So in Saturday, they'll say Saturday. Okay. Then grocery, yeah, we have explained. Dinner. Okay, R is again silent here. And watching, All right. And walking, yes, remember that, walking. In British English, we say walking, Americans say walking. And for OWRK, this one we said walk in British IPA, and Americans say work, R is there. Okay, then social and alone. Okay, very often you may be confused using these words alone or lonely. How can you use it? I'm going to give you a hint today. Alone and lonely, what's the difference? Okay, let's find out in a moment. Okay, so let's find out. Alone and lonely both are adjectives, but they have got different context of using, guys. Remember that. Okay, though they may seem to be the similar meaning, but they have got slight difference, you know. So alone, a person alone when he's by himself or herself. The person is lonely when the person feels abandoned or sad due to isolation. So did you get the point? So there is a greatest quotation. You can be alone without feeling lonely. All right. Once again, a person is alone when the person is by himself or herself. A person is lonely when the person feels abandoned or sad due to isolation. So you can be alone without feeling lonely. So this is one of the greatest examples of using alone and lonely. So once again, guys, alone means when the person is himself, herself, by one person. No one is there. We call the situation is alone. Like I'm alone. That means there is no one beside me. But lonely means when the person feels that, you know, abandoned by other people or sad due to isolation of separating from other people. Okay. So since alone and solitary both contains the letter A, you can remember that alone refers to a state of solitude rather than an emotion. Okay, so alone is, you know, state of solitude, whereas lonely is emotional. Okay. So listening to, remember, listening to is always a collocation. We don't use listen only. Like I'm listening to you, I'm listening to the music, I'm listening to the news, I'm listening to the lecture of my teacher silently. For example, in this case, when you're listening to me. Okay, then other words are little brother, shame, she had to move away. The cat was faster than the mouse. So the cat caught the mouse. Okay, we were sweating. I asked my mom to roll down the window. Okay, this one caught. Very often this sound can be confusing. CAUGHT, caught.
Caught.
Okay, and also there is COT, caught.
Caught.
So it is Caught. Caught. Remember the slight difference. C-A-U-G-S-T, caught.
Caught.
Caught. But caught. Caught. Yeah. So it is caught. The cat was faster than the mouse. So the cat caught the mouse. Unlucky mouse. The weather was hot. We were sweating. Okay. I asked my mom to roll the window down. Remember, sweating is a British IPA. American will say it's sweating because the T is in between two vowels, and if you have noticed. So the T is between A and I. And according to the American pronunciation, it should sound like flap T, which is like D. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining and listening to me silently. I wish that you could join my lesson, subscribe to me to learn something. However, thanks for being here and for your support, for your presence. I'll see you when I see you. Take care and bye.